That's good. So SEO truth number one, doing SEO right equals doing the things that are in line with Google's business goal. And the reason why I wanted to start with this is because I wanted to set the stage for the fact that, again, when we talk about SEO, it can become very daunting. Most marketing and advertising books, presentations, including SEO presentations, don't age very well. And it's because the technology that we're exposed to changes all the time, right? Our life changes, culture changes, everything changes. Google's algorithm changes as well. And so you can go to a conference or a seminar or read a book, and then within a very short period of time, the information that you learned is ineffective because it was very much focused on like tactics that you had to execute right away. So if you don't do them, it's like, oh my gosh, now what do I need to know about how to win at SEO? So it really comes down to the things that will be perpetual in nature. And so here's what I've found has always worked for clients that I've worked with. When you approach SEO from the perspective of not what's going to work today because Google did whatever thing, but based on what is in line with Google's actual business goal. Anybody want to take a stab at what Google's business goal is? They exist to serve their users. That's it. Because if they can create the best results for a user, then that in turn allows them to advertise on their website because the people will be there and those people will click on those ads, like you said. And then by doing that, then they generate revenue and then they meet their investor goals and everything else. So Google's core business objective is to make sure that they always show relevant results for that user who's doing the search. That's why they exist. They don't care that you had the word, best company or best blank on your site 50 times more than your competitor, because that alone doesn't mean that you truly are the best result to show to that user. So they're constantly trying to figure out, how do I weed out all of those bad results that are showing up in my listing because somebody figured out a way or a loophole to game the system, and trying to figure out more of, how do I know that the person that I'm ranking is actually the right resource to send to that user? So here's the other thing. You're going to hear me talk about Google a lot today. And it makes sense because we're talking about search engine optimization, and Google is the #1 search engine in the US, so that makes sense. But Google could cease to exist tomorrow. They really could. And they probably won't be around forever. We all know that. Companies come and go. But there will always be some behemoth of a company that exists to be the place where users can go for content, whether it's video content or search content or whatever. They all operate the same way. Facebook, YouTube, Google, they're all the same sort of thing. They create content or a place where people like to congregate. And then over time, they build their base, and then they figure out a way to monetize that platform. It's all the same thing. So no matter what happens with Google, I want you to understand that what we're going to talk about today about how you make your site so that it's in line with both the Google goal, or insert the name of the company, whatever it becomes tomorrow, that whatever you create there will always be relevant because you're doing the right thing. And the key here is to approach SEO as a strategy, not a tactic. That's going to be the big thing that you walk away with today. So you're in the right place. We talked about what SEO is, and so we all agreed you're at the right place. Number two, we're going to make sure the things we talk about today are evergreen and perpetual and that they're relevant even after if you implement this stuff next week or next month or next year. I'm also going to do this by way of examples, and specifically I'm going to use Epsom Salt Council, which is a client of ours. Epsom Salt Council it's like a loose business. They're an organization of the manufacturers of Epsom salt in the United States. They don't actually have a product or service to sell. They just want to motivate people to buy Epsom salt. They want to see sales of Epsom salt go up year over year. So it's very much an organization whose website exists to shift the mindset about Epsom salt, to get people to understand its benefits. So imagine how complicated that SEO process had to be in order for us to do this kind of work. So I'm gonna be just peppering what we're talking about with examples of Epsom salt. So you guys good? All right.